Hi, and welcome back to Dubai Real Estate Philosophy. My name is Ahmed, and today we have such an amazing and beautiful project for you guys called Passo by Beyond, right? So now Beyond, as you guys know, that we've done it in Maritime City many times. We just covered their Talia project. These are trophy asset projects, and today you can see where we're standing, the beautiful palm. You just saw at the beginning of the video, we showed you guys the palm, the Atlantis palm, the Royal Atlantis, and if you see it right in front of me, we have the gorgeous skyline of Marina, JBR, we have Address, JBR, we have obviously in Dubai, and right in front of us we have the 100 million dirham plus mansions where all these ultra high net worth individuals live. And if you pan right next to me and you see this basically this cool building with all the domes on top, that is basically your Kempinski Hotel. Right on the right side of that is exactly going to be the plot, which we're going to go to in a bit, and we're going to show you guys what's coming up. How is the building going to be? It's bringing in that Beyond design ethos. We're going to talk about the pricing, we're going to talk about all the views, we're going to talk about the beach, and then obviously we'll do an entire presentation speaking more about the numbers specifically, and obviously we're going to try to understand the project. We'll go over the brochures, the details, all these things. This is an introduction. This is going to be a very fun video. I'm super excited to get into this project. Stay tuned for all of that. So we were standing outside at the deck area where we saw the gorgeous Palm, Atlantis, and the Royal Palm. We showed you guys the Kempinski Hotel, the raffles, and where the plot was. We'll have some B-roll of the plot as well. Now this is the master plan they have in their sales center right here in Atlantis, the Palm, right? And it's pretty cool that Beyond came all the way out here. They put their entire, basically office right here in the parking lot of basically the Atlantis, the Palm. Now, if we look over here, it's a very simple design, right? We have two buildings. One is called basically Avita, one is called Bella. And it's something that's the way they've angled the building, as you guys can see. So, to ensure, and obviously we've seen this Beyond do the same thing in Maritime City when we covered those projects, is that they like to ensure that every unit has an excellent view. Right now, speaking a bit more about it, you guys can see there's three waterfront mansions over here as well, we have a massive pool in the middle, we have a lazy pool as well, we have tons and tons of amenities. So we're gonna slowly dissect each of them and get into the details. Right now, first and foremost, we need to understand this is a 250-meter beach, a private beach that is going to be just for the residences of Passo. By the way, as you guys can see, this is Passo by Beyond. We forgot to mention the name over there. And a quarter of a kilometer of a beach, okay? And on one side, now we have to keep in mind this basically view, and we're gonna discuss more about that in the presentation, is facing the Palm side, right? So it is facing the Palm side, and once we come on this side, this is going to be, both sides have water. Obviously, for those of you who know about the Palm, we are on the crescent of the Palm. This is where the road is at for even Atlantis and all these things, and that is the side where you have basically the beach, and it's facing the skyline and all these things that we saw earlier on. Now, on all four sides of the buildings, you do have amenities. This is basically the wellness area, and on that side you have the kids area, which we'll show as well. One cool thing I want to point out, if you guys look at this bottom line, all these units at the bottom, number one, they're small typology. They're 1 and 2 bedrooms, and they all come with a private terrace and a private pool attached. This is the wellness category. These are the wellness units. They're going to be the most expensive one because they have the largest size. They have a private terrace. They have a private pool, which is something that's pretty cool. They're calling it the wellness units. And then they have two more. There's the residence units, which are the normal typology. And then we have the elite units, which is kind of the normal typology, but they also have a extra room added into it as well. So this, if we walk here, this, you guys can see the rocks and all these things. These are the units that are going to be facing the entire open view. And that's it. You're not going to be able to see the fireworks or the Palm and all these things or the Dubai skyline. So those side units are the most premium ones. These are also pretty cool, but they're going to have open water views, uninterrupted water views. And as you guys can see, this is the drop-off zone for the two buildings. Now, Beyond is only launching this one right now on my right-hand side, as you guys can see. And that is basically the drop-off zone for this building. And then we have another drop-off zone for that building. Gorgeous drop off. They have waterfall features and all these things. And if you look over here, this sneaky little entryway is basically, they also have two basically basement floors. So that's where residents can go, park their car in their allocated parking space, and then directly use the elevator to go into their unit or their basically floor. Moving on, and before I forget also, you guys can look at the roofs. They have not left the roof empty. This one has a massive infinity pool on this side for this building, and they also have landscaping and all these things. And on the right side, you can see there's also a pool and a lot of landscaping. So very well designed buildings. And moving on this side, this is basically where we have the kids play area. So if you guys are residents, you can come, you can drop off your kids over here, you can go to the wellness area on that side, or you can go enjoy the beach and be rest assured your kids are having fun. So this was basically an overview of the entire model these guys have over here in their sales center right now. This is their temporary sales center for a week or two, I believe, for Beyond. So if you guys are interested to come see the model, see the Palm, see the Crescent, see the vibes of the area, there is a limited time to come into the sales center and see this model in person and all these things. And later on they'll be moving to their other sales office, which we've been to many times for our avid viewers, which is in Maritime City. So we showed you guys basically the location standing on the Palm, a bit of those beach vibes. We explained to you the entire the model that these guys have over here. Gorgeous building. Now, next part, I want to go into the analysis. Again, over here, the average price per square foot is 6,500 to 6,600 dirhams per square foot. It has a 60-40 payment plan, which on a Palm is pretty solid. You're paying 20% down and then 10% a year. Some solid numbers, some solid payment plan, and of course, Beyond needs no introduction. They are basically the affordable luxury segment of the brand. Omniat, Lana, Dorchester, all these guys, amazing stuff these guys have been doing, and they're just continuing to raise the bar in their developments here in Dubai with this project specifically. So let's go into basically our screen, and we're going to look at some of the analytics in the Palm, understand the historical data, all these things, why this project is such a steal, get to know the numbers, and really understand one of the best, most luxurious projects right now available from one of the best developers in Dubai. So let's go to the presentation. We went to the sales center of Passo by Beyond on the Palm Jumeirah, right in front of the gorgeous Atlantis Hotel. We showed you guys the plot location. From that, we showed you the gorgeous Palm, the Royal Atlantis, all these things. And then we moved to the master plan, the model of the building that was already there. We talked about both of the buildings, the amenities, all these things. And now finally, we're at the presentation. So before we dive deeper into Passo and understand more about it, see about the renders, all these things in the brochure, we're going to speak a bit about the Palm. So historically, everyone knows about the Palm. It's one of the most iconic, the most famous landmarks in the entire world. Okay, because it really is a amazing feat of engineering, right? So this is just a drone shot that basically is available, and Palm Jumeirah, benchmark of Dubai waterfront real estate. Right now, we have to really understand that when we're comparing anything, right? And we've covered Beyond many times. For example, there are projects in Maritime City or Rashid Yachts and Marina. All these guys are always like, oh, this is cheaper. It's a better investment. Cheaper to what? Okay, better investment than what? Okay, people always put that benchmark, or people talk about MR Beachfront. They're all basically pointing back to the Palm, which is basically the benchmark of what we're comparing all these other communities to, right? Doesn't matter if it's MR Beachfront, doesn't matter if it's Maritime City, Rashid Yachts and Marina, Dubai Harbor, it all leads back to the Palm. Okay, so now moving forward, the developer history and evolution of the Palm, right? Most people, they know developer is Nakheel. Nakheel is now part of the Dubai Holdings Group, okay, which is it's a part of the royal family, okay. They have over $250 billion under management worldwide. They have a hospitality group, which is Jumeirah, then obviously Nakheel, they have Dubai Properties, they have Miras, another boutique developer, and Maidan. So it is a behemoth of a group now, right? And even back in the day, they were pretty big, and these guys made that. So now this was launched way back in 2001. We're talking 24 years the Palm has been there to dominate, okay, the entire market, and it's been a long time coming. Now obviously there were some delays, okay, the completion date was extended due to scale, engineering complexity, and obviously the 2008 financial crisis. Limitless was basically the main company that was building all these things, and obviously in the 2008 financial crisis, obviously caused by US, the housing crisis, all these things, it had a lot of effects on this as well. But these guys persevered, they went on, they got the financing back, and here we are 24 years later talking about a new project on the Palm. Now the current status, again, it is fully established, globally recognized ultra luxury destination obviously Atlantis, the Royal Atlantis, all these things that we're talking about. Now, a benchmark for Dubai waterfront living, as I was talking about in the beginning, it's a first of its kind man-made island. Obviously, okay, nothing really around the world, really like it. It set new standards for beachfront real estate in the region. We really didn't have anything like this way before. Obviously, beachfront, MR beachfront, Rashid Marina, Maritime City, all came later on. And now obviously we have the second Palm coming as well, because the first one was so successful. Now we have Palm Jebel Ali coming up. As we've been on the island of Palm Jebel Ali. You can go check out that video as well. That was a lot of fun. Inspired future mega island projects. Again, just like I said, Palm Jebel Ali is also coming, inspired by Palm Jumeirah. And then obviously home to iconic brands and high profile residents. We have a lot of celebrities, of course, billionaire, Damac owner Hussein Sejwani also has his residence over there, and a lot of high profile people live in the mansions in the front of the Palm. Now, if we look at the capital appreciation and investment behavior of how the Palm Jumeirah has been going, strong long-term appreciation, okay, since the launch. Again, launched when 2001, obviously was delivered a bit later, and many units are kept vacant, by the way, by ultra high net worth individuals, used solely for capital gains. If you go to a lot of the fronts, or you go to a lot of the apartment complexes as well, and even this project which we're going to talk about, Passo, they also have beachfront mansions. There's only 6 units of those, and people were like, well, why should I buy like a 80 million, again, we'll get to the details sooner, 80 million waterfront mansion surrounded by apartments. The thing is, you have to understand, Palm, a lot of people, they use it as considered blue chip real estate asset in Dubai. So a lot of people, they just buy it, and rather than, because we have to understand, it's not an ROI game, it is a capital appreciation game on the Palm. So people might not want, and most of these assets are really trophy assets, and people are like, well, maybe it's not worth it to have that little of ROI and having that wear and tear in my property that I want to visit, once a year. I want my privacy. I don't want others living in there. So a lot of properties are actually vacant. They're vacation homes. They just sit there. They get a lot of appreciation. Obviously not the overwhelming majority. Overwhelming majority is occupied by its residents. They enjoy that lifestyle, but it is definitely considered a blue chip real estate asset in Dubai, which you can't really say about a lot of other locations. That is something that's very unique to Palm. Now, conclusion, undisputed value proposition. If this was a new island in its beginnings and it was very, very doubtful, I would probably not be making this video, because no one knew that if the island would sink or not. And a lot of people, there were a lot of controversy back then that, oh, it's going to sink, it's a sinking island, it's a massive, debt hole and all these things. Well, here we are 24 years later, and it's completely fine. It's one of the most recognizable, landmarks in the entire world. It's been an immense success, and it really has, solidified its value proposition, right? People have made tons of money. Now, Palm Jumeirah remains Dubai's flagship for luxury coastal living, just like we talked about in all these things. Proven resilience through economic cycles. It is one of the best, kept assets. A lot of people have made a lot of money because, again, real estate is cyclical. But if the fundamentals make sense, you're going to make money. We say this all the time. If the location is right, if the developer is right, if the price is right, and most importantly, the value is there. If all the fundamentals are correct, just like I said, if the fundamentals make sense, you're going to make money, and the fundamentals could not make more sense in this project. Now, scarcity of beachfront land equals sustained upward trend. Obviously, that's very logical. There is a new Palm coming, but it is not going to be as open to design as this one. Nakheel has basically taken it upon themselves to make it the way they want. So not really a lot of available options for custom build and all these things. Now, any new beachfront development model on Palm is a high confidence opportunity. Just like I said, if it was the beginning of the island and there wasn't already, a Palm Jumeirah established and it was like a new Palm Jebel Ali, I probably would not make the video because it was very uncertain on what the future will be. But looking on historical data, which we're going to look at right now, this really is a no-brainer opportunity, which we're going to talk about Passo in the upcoming slides. Now, next chapter, again, Palm Jumeirah set the gold standard, and then now a new opportunity is emerging, introducing Passo by Beyond. We saw the sales center, the gorgeous location. We saw the model apartments. Let's dive deeper into that. And before we do that, looking at the overview, again, Palm Jumeirah's newest beachfront icon, where nature, design, and well-being meet. Location, again, this is on the West Crescent, one of the last beachfront plots. We're going to look at all that stuff in detail in a bit. proximity minutes to the Atlantis, the Royal Atlantis, Burj Al Arab, Marina, Sheikh Zayed Road. It is one of the most prime locations there are. Again, signature features. This is something that's very, very cool. 250 meters of private beach, which we also said in basically the model apartment. That is a quarter of a kilometer of private beach. Iconic views of Atlantis, skyline, Burj Al Arab, wellness-centric lifestyle and biophilic design. Sky gardens, they have infinity pools, they have a library, a cinema, a wellness pavilion. So obviously, it has everything a luxury residence needs. Now, product breakdown and pricing. The residences, again, we have elegant 1 to 4 bedroom apartments. And we have some categories. We kind of mentioned this while we were going over the model, that they do have something else. They have residences, they have the wellness. The wellness units are the ground floor units with private pools. Then we have the elites, which is rarely released 1 to 4 bed units with special layouts. So these have an extra added room for your usage. And then of course we have penthouses and mansions, 4 to 6 bed signature homes. So there are some categories of what they will be releasing. Again, investment angle and timeline. They have a 60-40 payment plan. That is a phenomenal payment plan. It really lets you use a lot of leverage. It will be handing over in Q3 of 2029. EOIs have started. Again, 100,000 first come, first serve. Most of us know how Beyond works. We've done a lot. We've done very well in Maritime City. A lot of our clients are very, very happy with Maritime City. It will be the same Beyond process over here. One of the last new addresses on the Palm. Scarcity drives the premium. Now, why Passo is a no-brainer? Again, we're going to go over the project details, but let's look at the investment side of things before we move on to that. Position on Dubai's most proven high-growth asset, Palm Jumeirah, which we talked about extensively until now. Waterfront scarcity equals strong future capital gains. Again, we talked about that as well. Prices now are where Palm was pre-boom. Okay, we're going to look at all that stuff, the pricing, the historical data of the Palm, where they are right now. And then Passo inherits Palm's prestige, adds next generation wellness plus exclusivity. Of course, we have to understand the Palm has been going on for a long, long time. A lot of these buildings are very aged. Even though they're luxury residences, they might not have today's tech whiz and all these things about all the new, again, just like it says, next gen wellness and exclusivity. Now, looking at the historical data of Palm Jumeirah's price appreciation, again, this is from 2006 of when it was handed over to 2025, almost nearing 20 years. We can see at 2010, we're talking about 2,000 to 2,200 roughly. This is where Mina Rashid was when it started. So that's why that project Inquire by Emaar was a no-brainer as well. And slowly, you can see in 2025, we are standing right now at around 6,500 to 7,000 dirhams per square foot. And of course, we do have some peak transactions. For example, Royal Atlantis, which is ultra luxury. We're talking well above. This is very interesting. We're talking well above 12,000. I believe the exact number was around 12,475 dirhams per square foot, which is phenomenal. But obviously, not keeping those exclusive ones, we're almost at touching around 7,000 dirhams per square foot in the Palm. Now, these are some of the rental statistics for the buildings that are already ready. For example, just like the one we talked about, Atlantis, the Royal Residences, Kempinski Palm Residence, the 8 residences on, again, the Crescent and Murabba residences. Now this is for an average of 2 bedrooms. We can see 1.7 million, 270 to 350,000, 280 to 350,000, 300 to 500,000. These are roughly the sizes and the rent per square foot, which is pretty solid. It's very phenomenal. Now, in my opinion, again, just like I said, I believe that the ROI is not the strong point in these projects. It's all about that capital appreciation, that exclusivity is what we're looking after. But still solid ROIs regardless. Now, these are some of the transactions that we need to understand that are going today, right? If we look at the date of this, right now is 2nd of July while we're filming this, and you guys can see, look at the prices, crazy. Look at the dates. We have 3rd July 2023, 9, 18, and 29, all of last month. 10,500 dirhams per square foot, 6,950, 8,510, 8,270. These are phenomenal prices. And when I tell you that Passo is at anywhere from 65 to 6,600 dirhams per square foot, you understand it is a no-brainer, especially with a 60-40 payment plan. You really don't get a lot of these kind of chances in Dubai's real estate where you can have that kind of difference in the price per square foot. This is again another chart. Again, all these charts, you can do your own research. Always do your own research from DSB Interact, Property Monitor. All these guys are good friends in those amazing tools have made for us. As you guys can see, in 2022, we're looking at around 5,600 dirhams per square foot, and all the way at 2025, you guys can see we're looking at an average of 9,340 dirhams per square foot. Just like we saw in some of the transactions, that is what is going on. Again, Passo is 6,500 to 6,600 dirhams per square foot. Unbelievable value for what they are giving. So now we again saw the sales center, the model apartment. We went over why Palm is so good. We looked at the historical data and all these things. Now let's talk about Passo itself. Okay, again, beyond coming in with their high-end renders, we're going to talk about all these things: the address, the project, the collections of what they have to offer, the experience, and of course the developer beyond itself. Now, most of us already know this is exactly where the Palm is, right here in the middle. This is where their sales center was, where we were standing as well. This is basically where the Kempinski is at, and this is the last location available. So before we move on and deeper into the presentation, I want to show you guys, this is obviously the Palm Jumeirah. This is where the Atlantis, the Palm is. This is basically where we were standing that day, and we're showing you guys where the plot is. The plot is right here next to the Kempinski. You're gonna get all the views at the back and at the front. You have open views at the front, and obviously at the back you have the beach and the Palm itself and the Dubai skyline. So that was basically more a bit about the location. Again, we have also the Nakheel Mall, the Royal Atlantis, Dubai Marina, and that is exactly where Passo is. Now, again, Palm Jumeirah, we talked about this in extent. Iconic location. Look at the gorgeous Royal Atlantis. Believe me, when you're standing there, there really is nothing like it, especially at night when it lights up and it has all the fountains and all these things in front of it. Beautiful building. Of course, we have all the fronts with mansions reaching 100 million plus, with a lot of high-end, ultra high net worth individuals living there. This is the project. Again, we showed you guys the entire thing in the sales center in depth, the actual project. No need for introduction. We have the 3 beachfront mansions over here, all the amenities, all these things that is over there. You can see the Kempinski right next to it. The entrance is obviously from the back side where we have open water views, and then this side where we have the beach, all the amenities, and we're gonna have views of the Palm. As you guys can see, these are the views that are from the backside. You have the Burj Khalifa, downtown skyline, Burj Al Arab, Royal Atlantis, the view on the Palm Tower. Really doesn't get better than again, now this is the entrance drop off. Again, we showed these things at the model. I believe we covered them very, very well. This is just some more renders so you guys can see of how it was. Now, as we spoke about, even at the sales center, they have 5 types of offerings, right? They have the residences, okay, which are your normal apartments. The wellness collection, which is basically at the ground floor, where you have a private pool. This isn't just a tub or anything. It's an actual, proper, legit pool. And then we have the elite collection, which is basically the residences, but 1 extra room, which you can use for whatever you want. And then, of course, we have the penthouses at the top. And then we have the 6 beach mansions at the front. You guys can see they're designed kind of like yacht decks. They look gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3 on that side. Residences, again, some shots. Now, this is a cool render, just like I was showing. These are the 3 beachfront mansions. They kind of look like ship decks. They're G plus 2, so total 3 stories. And then obviously we have all the apartments on the side. Very nicely designed. These are some of the amenities. Again, just like we spoke about earlier as well, we have the arrival lounge and library right over here. It does have a library as well. That's pretty cool. This is basically your arrival lounge and library. Again, once you come in, you take a U-turn. We explained this on the model as well, but this is basically the entrance to your basement underground. Then once you come in, this is the entrance for your first building, and then if you continue straight on, this is the entrance for the second building, which is not launched right now. This is the second one. This is the one that is being launched right now. And again, all the other stuff: arrival lounge and social club, experience pool, family pool, pool deck, kids pool, open lawn, wet lounges, wellness pavilion, kids pavilion. The list keeps going on. I'm gonna get into all of those. So just looking at some of the last renders of this project before we wrap this video up is look at the outdoor landscaping. Again, very gorgeously made. They have all these amenities. You can see all the cool designs these guys have integrated. Again, the cabanas. This is your outdoor cinema, which you can book for yourself. The wellness pavilion, where we have Pilates, we have the gym, obviously high-end gym equipment. You can be rest assured that Beyond is really going to go above and beyond and deliver what they want. This is the kids pavilion. They have an indoor kids playing space. Again, we explained this on the model as well. On one side of the building, you have the kids pavilion. The other side is the wellness. So you can drop your kids off and go have fun on the other side. There's a cool bath. They got some rock climbing areas, again, for your kids playing. Well, that was a wrap for Passo by Beyond. I am super excited about this project. Again, we showed you guys the location. We showed you guys the model. We went over why Palm is so amazing. We went over this project. Now, I understand we didn't go over each and every detail because we have to understand a development of this size, this magnitude really requires a lot of depth. The floor plans are very complex. Everything is very complex because we have to cater to everyone's needs. So if you're interested, you need to reach out. We need to sit down with Beyond. We need to have a meeting and they are going to explain to you everything because these guys are the experts. It starts with you, the client, rather than just us just pouring everything over you in this kind of, luxury and unique project. We need to understand your requirements, what you like, what you don't like, and I am sure we're going to come up with something that is going to cater to your needs. So very, very cool project, Passo by Beyond. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I sure did enjoy making it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye for now.